How's everybody doing? Back to helping y'all out a little bit because this is probably one of the most important weeks. This is Dr. T. This is one of the first ones to make sure I tell you all. I appreciate everybody's patience. I know this has been a lot going on because I haven't even been able to get a video because I've been so busy dealing with things and still trying to deal with the loss of my dad. So please thank you all for your patience, but I want to make sure I get in here to help you guys out. All right. So first, let me say about the course project. Okay. So let me talk about that first. If you have not done this as far as watching this video, you need to do that like immediately. But you do have some things coming up soon. So next week is when you all be making your final reflections on the projects. Now the reason I bring that up is because by next week you really should be done with your project. Remember, this is almost 50% of your grade when you look at everything, right? So you really want to make sure you all are doing your projects and making conscious effort because next week is when you really should be done. Now let me talk about some details about it. Okay. Now, if you click here for some details on the proposal, this is where you have all the information about your final project. So I want to make sure you all know a couple things. Your topic has to be something that deals with both the local and the federal level, which is why this week is so important for the simple fact that we talk about local governments. Okay. The other thing I want to make sure y'all are fully aware is this is the layout of your presentation that you are completing in Canva. I am right now recording this whole presentation on Canva, and as you could tell, this is not a Canva presentation, so you can't screen record. It is required. You have to give me that presentation. When you present, you need to make sure you're sitting up. You need to make sure you actually look decent, looking from the shoulder up, as I am doing. Now, your background, you can blur, you can do different things, but you cannot be laying down, slouching in your seat, and kind of just like chilling. You are doing a formal presentation. So if you have not started practicing that, you need to now. Your first slide is going to be just what it says here. Second slide will be just your claim, not a whole paragraph, only your claim. Your third slide is will be simply your APA reference page. It should be done at APA perfectly, where the first line is to the far left, and then every line after that is indented. Then the first line in alphabetical order. Then you have your source annotations. You should have already done this. I've been telling people about this as well. You take your APA reference, put it at the top of the page, then you have your citations. Then after that, you go into source comparisons. For every source you have here on your selected sources, as far as your APA reference page, you have to do a source comparison. Okay. That's what you have to complete. Again, as it says here, you want to make sure your 10 to 15 slides as far as the final presentation. This is excluding the title and reference. So that's what gives you an idea what you're doing. A combination of books, academic journals. The Constitution should be used for everybody, including the Georgia Constitution, which you're covering this week. And you even have a film clip in there. That is your requirements. So this is what's going on. The overall presentation has to be 5 minutes. If you go over, it will be a deduction in points. You have to practice to get yourself into 5 minutes. That's one of the hardest parts about the project, but that's something you have to make sure you get done. Now, with that, I hope that helps you out. But let's go back to what we're doing this week. Because this week we're talking about the local governments. And this is one of your most important ones. So for chapter 14 to 18, you have these videos here. Go ahead and look view the instructions. Again, I'm looking at the student view. You have this video here, and then you have this nearby, which you use as a link. You want to complete FAIR model notes. Okay, so you click on the FAIR model notes. It's pretty straightforward. You're going to have one column to give you definition, characteristics, examples, and non-examples. You're doing a FAIR model for each of these videos. You do not have to do one for your Nearpod, but you do need to do one for was a runoff election and the history behind Georgia runoff elections. That means 2 FAIR models, you complete the Nearpod, okay? I will go into the Nearpod and see your completion of the activities for that one. Submit your notes here, you're good to go. This is going to be due on Friday, unlimited attempts, but make sure you turn this in by Friday. You will not be able to turn this in late. Then you go to your reading reflections. For your reading reflections, what you're going to do is similar. You have 2 articles. You have the Georgia Constitution. You have government and laws, talking about more about since the Georgia Encyclopedia, give you more information. On the reading reflection, what you want to do, make sure you click on that. For each article, you give me one quote or concept for each box. That means you have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But you need to give me at least 4. Okay. Let me make sure this is clear. What you're doing here should go directly into your final project because this is now your connection to the local government. Okay. Remember, your final project got to talk about a federal issue and a state issue. This gives you the state issue. So wherever you put here, that's your quote, your reflection. You literally should be able to copy this out and put directly into your project on the slide, and you're good to go as far as source comparisons. This is why this is so important. So you have to give me at least 4 quotes and reflections for each of these readings. And you submit that right here into Blackboard, and you're good to go. The last thing you'll be doing is going to iCivics, where you'll be doing this web quest. So find out more about your local and federal government. Now, I know last week we had some issues with iCivics. So here's the class code. We've now done it 3 times as far as iCivics. Make sure you notice here you got to do a 500 word response. And then what you do is go to this website here, go to iCivics. This is the worksheet you're going to be doing. Now, let me go ahead and open up this worksheet so we can look at this. Make sure we're clear. U.S. Senator, this is federal. So the first page here, these are all your federal elected officials. The second page, these are all your state elected officials. So everybody's had a same state governor, same state senator, and also the same excuse me, back that up. Everybody's had the same governor. Everybody should have some of the same state senators, but the county officials, members of the state house of representatives, the local officials, this would be like your city. So like for example, I stay in Powder Springs, Georgia. So I'll be putting down my mayors and information there. So this is where you all will find out more information about federal. Everybody's gonna have the same 2 senators. Everybody's gonna have the same president and vice president. You're gonna have maybe some different members of the House of Representatives, which the WebQuest will be able to help you out with. And then you also have the same state's governor. However, state senator and state members will be different. County officials, this will be if you live in Cobb County, Douglas County, wherever have you. And then local officials is going to be your mayors. So that's where you look this information up at. And then the web quest will be just this sheet. I mean, it's not this sheet, but this link right here. When you guys log in, this is the teacher's view, so it looks different. But here's a catch: if you have problems with it, just Google it. You can find this information. I hope this week helps y'all out. Make sure you use this stuff directly into your projects and have a good week. If you have any kind of questions, concerns, please let me know. Now, this one here will be due on Sunday. So if you have any kind of questions, concerns, let me know. Good luck, everybody. You're going to open the door up. Thank you. Have a great day, sir. You can cut the lights off.